Good morning, it's me. I'm back. I'm Stephanie Flath, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm 3.5 minutes late. So sorry. I have good news for why, though. I'll tell you in a minute. And it is Wednesday, I keep saying March. Wednesday, May 13. I have a couple on. Oh, Diana's on. And that's all that I can see right now. Say hello when you get on, then I know that you're here. Carrie is watching. Good morning. Okay, I'm trying to get in my thing again here a sec. I'm really sorry. This really bugs me that it's distracting. It distracts me trying to get on here, but I like being able to see comments while I'm stamping. So I guess that outweighs the distraction. Hi Diane, hi Carrie. Oh, and I gotta turn my. Carrie is watching. I always. Good morning. Sorry, I always forget that I have to turn. Ooh, from Oregon, cool. Donna Doran, is that how you say your name? So how did you come to find me? Are you a demonstrator? Do you have a friend that watches me? I'm glad that you're here. So it's probably early. Oh, not too early. 8:30, 7:30. Well, that's early for me. Morning, Dina. And Carol is on here. Hello. I'm glad that you're here. And Marcia's here. Hello. Marcia, I haven't sent out. You are a demonstrator? Cool. And Cindy is on. Hello. Cool. How long have you been a demonstrator, Donna? And Jamie is watching. I love having you here, Jamie. Quick question. Jamie, is Missy still in Florida? I was thinking about her and just wondering about her. Praying for her. Hope she's doing well. And enjoying sunshine. Hi, Cindy. Okay. Oops. So I'm on here, but I don't see comments yet. Just a sec. How am I not seeing comments yet? Oh, there they are. Okay, 6 years hobby. Cool. Well, I'm happy that you found me, Donna. Okay, so I have good news why I'm late. Sorry I'm late. I hate being late, and it's just who I am. I'm so sorry. Morning, Terry. I inherited this from my mom, I believe. I remember saying to her, Mom, why do you choose when we're walking out the door to start cleaning the oven? I always think I can fit one more thing in, and it's crazy. I'm silly. But anyway, so why I was late this morning. I mean, one of the reasons. I always run late, but I have a reason why I didn't get down here right away. I have new catalogs for you. So if you are in a club of mine or have placed an order with me in the past 6 months or so, and you know where I live, my catalogs are in a bin outside my side door. So with that in mind, I would suggest maybe you wearing gloves because there's going to be a lot of people coming in and out. I don't know how many. I have other stuff going on today. I'm not sure how often I'll get out there to like sanitize or anything like that. So maybe suggested gloves. So in there's a full regular catalog. I have a folder of wish lists. They're not tucked. It's a folder with pockets, but they're not tucked in the pockets. It's just in there. So maybe I should tuck them in the pockets. I don't know. I'm not sure what I was trying to be like. Just slip them in, but maybe it's a better idea to tuck them in. I'm not sure. We'll see. And then there's also a beginner's brochure that it's specifically geared for. At least I think that's what it's called, is a beginner's brochure. That's kind of what we refer to it like. It's a like 6x9 sort of thing. And some of the things that are in there are also in the full catalog, but there are some things that are not in there. Hi, Kristen. I'm glad you're here. So anyway, you can grab one of each for you. The in colors are gorgeous. I actually have them here. I expedited my order so I could have it in time for my team meeting and to send out make and take packets. And I love the colors. And it's just a really good catalog. So I don't know how you guys are, or like how you go. You know that if you've been following me or a customer of mine for a while, you know that when I print wish lists for when the new catalog comes out, and no half page, that's silly. So it's a full page with lines all the way down it. And I think I remember last full catalog, I think I had maybe a half a page of stamp sets, because words really attract me, I feel like. And so if something else doesn't hit me, then, you know, I may pass on it or whatever, at least for a while. So this time I went through the catalog. I had a whole front page of just stamp sets or bundles. And then, you know, the back was, I might have even gone on to the back with stamp sets. And then, of course, there's all the embellishments and the colors and the designer paper. I love the catalog. It's thinner this year. And there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of new stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that has carried over from mini catalogs. Like we have a lot of the Christmas stuff from some of our favorites from the last holiday catalog in this catalog. And then we have quite a few things from the January to June mini catalog in here. And so I was kind of happy. I like seeing stuff like that. I like seeing favorites still being around. But there's a lot of new stuff too. It's cool. It's a good catalog. So I'll probably have it outside. It's just going to be out there all day. It's in a plastic bin with a cover. Make sure that you kind of get the cover back on well. So in case there's any, I don't think there's going to be any precipitation today, but just in case, make sure that it's closed. Yes, I agree with you, Dina. Every year the products get better and better. And I mean, sometimes there are catalogs that like, yeah, it's a really cool catalog, but there aren't stuff that there isn't so much that I have to have, but there's a lot of stuff on my wish list. Okay, so that was my good news and reason why I was 2.5 minutes late. Sort of, but I'm always running late, so you know, it'll be something another time potentially. Okay, so today I mentioned that I'm going to be or I put it in my pre post, I don't know what warning post, I don't know, that it is it's graduation time, and I'm gonna focus on graduations. I was having a hard time. I've not been feeling very inspired all of a sudden. I mean, I was with new products, but I don't like, designers can order anytime. Okay, well, not quite. So there's a specific pre-order list that you can order from, and for right now until the catalog goes live June 3. And yes, from that list, you can order anytime. There are specific quantities on, like especially consumable things. Cindy, even though you have a complimentary catalog coming, you still can come over and get it. And actually, I have an order for you here still, too. So you can come and get it, and you don't have to replace it with the one that you get. Maybe you could pass it on to a friend or something, because you get one for being a customer of mine too. So feel free to come over today. I'm going to be busy until like 1:30 or 2 today, because I have another Zoom meeting, or maybe it's Facebook. I feel like it's Zoom. At 1 o'clock today for demonstrators. So So anyway, if you want to pick up your order too, you're going to have to wait till like after 2. But if you want to come and get your catalog, it's out there. So, so Dina, something to also mention. So you can order anytime from the pre-order list. Then on June 3, just like everybody else, you can order anything that's in there. The thing is right now, because of COVID and the precautions that Stampin' Up! Is taking to keep their employees safe, they split their shifts. So that some people they're working 12-hour shifts, but like some are going Monday, Wednesday, Friday, some are going Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So they have more space apart, you know, just all out of protection for the employees. And there's a long lead time right now on orders. Right now, normally, when we log on, it will say like it's 1 to 2 days. And when it gets busy, it might be 2 to 4 days. Right now, it's stating 5 to 9 days before it ships out. So, a way that you can get around that is paying an expediting fee. So I'll have to talk to you about that later, because that bumps your order up in front of everybody's, and it goes, you can have it come second day air. So, so there are long lead times, and just because of so much ordering with retiring and then new catalog stuff and whatever, Stampin' Up! Posted last night, or yesterday sometime, or I don't know when. What day is today? It is Wednesday, so yeah, yesterday was posted, I think, that it's going to be a couple months before they get kind of their stuff back in line with whatever. So, okay, so I'm doing a graduation card, and I had a couple of things in mind that I wanted to do, and both of them I'm actually using the Stamparatus for. Hi Robin, I'm glad you got your cards today. Is that a finally, or was that one pretty quick? I think I got all of my winners out so far, which reminds me, 2 things. First of all, if you would like to be in the drawing for my winners of what I'm making today, make sure that you share my video, and you'll be entered into my drawing. And secondly, before I put you down, I'm going to draw names. So I have everybody loaded up already. Imagine that. I actually thought ahead. It ends up being in the middle of the night that I'm doing it, but it's there. So I'm going to, I have 2 things. So I'm drawing 2 names. One is for the 2 little mini cards that I made. And the other one is for the mini card that I made into a full card, where it's actually just a card front, and then the little card is the opening part. So I'm going to draw names right now. So it's spinning. Sometimes I wish you could see. Oh, Rachel, you're on and you won. Yay. I just saw that you're watching. So I need to write it down or I'll forget. I know that's ridiculous, but it happens. I can't tell you how many times I've had to go back and either look at if I posted the name, or have to watch the video again where it says, hi Christy and Nancy, I'm so glad you're here. I have a good number of you here today. That makes me happy. Okay, I'm starting the other one. The names go spinning side to side. It's funny. And Marcia Hill, you are my second winner. Woohoo! All right, so Rachel, you get the 2 little itty bitty cards, and Marcia, you'll get the one that I made into a full card. Thank you for sharing already, Dina. I appreciate it. And Marcia, if you want your card today, when you come pick up your catalog, you have to come later. If you're just gonna let me mail it, that's fine too. Okay. Now I need to go back to comments now. Just a sec. Okay. Liked and shared. Good morning, Nancy. Better late than never. Oh yeah. Hi, Marlene. I haven't seen you in a while. Okay. So I'm gonna put you down. I know, I love Happy Mail too. I'm going to put you down and do stamping. First of all, let me check. Am I showing right? Yep, I'm showing right. Okay, so I'm double checking because things have been weird with my settings. So I think it's going to go green for a sec because I'm going to unbackward you, but then when I upside down you, it'll be good. And let me make sure that you can read. Yep, it's straight. Okay. So I forgot to, there's 2 different stamp sets that I'm going to use. And I have no idea what I put with, where I put the first one that I'm using. And they're both retiring actually, so it's kind of important that I show you. So one is the Bold Birthday or something like that. If one of you remembers, I've been making face masks. Oh, good. I sure appreciate somebody like you, Marlene. I know a few people actually that have been doing that. One person, she started like the very first day anything started, and she's been making them free and just one per person, and but has made over 1,000, I know, because that was what I heard last, I don't know when. A couple weeks ago, I think, maybe. Okay, so Broadway Birthday. This is the one that I'm using first. And specifically what I'm using and why I want to use the Stamparatus is because of, I love this Hooray. And then there's these dots that go on it. I'm not even sure if you can see the dots, but if you know the stamp set, you know that it's there. So something that I do, I don't know if you guys do this or not, but I rarely actually order like a graduation stamp set. It has to be, I don't know, there's only a certain time of year that I use it, so I tend to be someone who I use what I have and make it work. So like this Hooray obviously doesn't just have to be birthday as the stamp set is called, but I can do Hooray and Let's Celebrate You, and that would be a perfect graduation. I probably wouldn't use any of these other things. I could use balloons, but I'm not going to. So I just I do that for, yeah, graduation is one of them. Like Easter, typically I don't order a specific stamp set. So I just tend to, with something that just comes and goes so quickly, I just use what I have. So, and yes, Marlene, it is a lot. She has just worked her fingers to the bone. Okay, so what I'm doing here, for those of you who, haven't used the Stamparatus before, this isn't necessarily a tutorial for the Stamparatus exactly. It's just, I want to remind you to use it. I'm going to put a good tip is to put your stamp set underneath here for inking up. So it's a positioning tool. If you've not seen it before, Stampin' Up! Was a couple years late to the game, I think, for having a tool like this, but they did it right when they brought it out. So there's actually another plate that will go here. So you actually have 4 surfaces, so 2 plates, one side, 2 sides. I have another stamp here that you can't see because it's not stained like this one is. Good morning, Christy. Did I say hello when you came on? I did see when you came on. So whenever you want to, something to be just right, this is the perfect tool to use. So I'm using crushed curry. It's not something that I would typically use for a greeting, but I'm going to be putting black dots on it, so it'll work. Plus I can make it darker by stamping it again. So I'm inking that up in crushed curry and pressing it. Make sure that I get a good image. I just picked up another stamp. Ah, that's funny. Oh, that did not work very well. All right, but this shows actually how you can use the Stamparatus. So you see that my Hooray is not very good. I don't know if I didn't ink it up well, or if I didn't press it well. But I can go right back on there. Maybe I had something sitting on this. Oh, it's good. Okay. So now it went right back on the same spot because I was using my Stamparatus with my plates. And these magnets are extremely important. They hold your piece in position. They're very, very strong. They're very brittle, so you make sure that you keep them far apart. And if you don't have them on your plate here, then underneath is where you want to store them. Don't ever put them on a table together, or even apart. Like, they're strong enough to pull to each other, especially like if you happen to bump one or whatever. So you have to be really careful. Okay, when you're ready to pull the plate out, because I want to use the other stamp, you make sure that it's straight up. It needs to be perpendicular, 90-degree angle, whatever you want to call it, and then tip one end or the other to pop it out. If you try pulling it out when it's like this, it's in the locked position. So it doesn't look straight up by my camera just because of the angle that you have, but this literally is straight up and down. So you tip it. Now we're going to turn it around. And I did not line this stamp up yet. I am somewhat doing a tutorial, I guess, because I wanted to show you how I'm going to do it. So I have my other stamp, and I'm going to lay this right on here so I can see where all my dots are going to go on my Hooray. You can't see that very well because it's kind of too far from the camera. But now I'm going to pick it up, lift it up, and now I'm using Memento because I have photopolymer, remember? I'm a black stays on person, but when I'm using Memento, or, no, that was dumb. When I'm using photopolymer stamps or Stampin' Blends, I always use Memento because Memento won't dry out your photopolymer stamp, stays on will because it's solvent based, and this will dry so that you don't smear. Is that the this won't bleed into your Stampin' Blends with alcohol-based marker. So you need to use this and let it dry with Stampin' Blends. Okay, so I inked up my Hooray. I'm gonna stamp it. Haha, I like it. But I'm just I'll show it to you up close in a second. But I'm going to ink it up one more time. I want this to be dark also. Alright, so look at my Hooray. Can you see the dots on it? Ah, I love it. Okay, so now I'm going to pull this off. I chose to have a big piece to do this just so I could hold on to this well. And I'm going to set this aside because what I have in mind is using these, what are they called? Stitched nested dies. I love these. I haven't used them in a while, but they're quite awesome. And I want to use this sort of medium skinny one here. And I actually have one of these already die cut, but I didn't want to try to stamp on this piece with the Stamparatus and be able to hold on to it with a magnet and whatever, so I grabbed a normal piece. So I'm actually going to pull my Big Shot up too because I want to show you two things. Let's see how I can show this. Alright, so showing this isn't such a big deal. My plate looks horrible though. Look how awful this cutting mat is. I've been doing more die cutting than I have ever done in my life because I've been sending out make and take packets to my customers for clubs and my team for our meeting so that they can have make and takes. So I'm just running this through really quick. You don't need to see this, but this is what I needed to do. One thing, if you didn't know this, love the Stamparatus because of being able to restamp. I know it wasn't planned, but having to show that restamping is a big selling point for the product. My dad often said that no amount of planning replaces dumb luck. That's true. I know I have plates that look like this too, but usually it's from everybody using them on my classes. And the funny thing is somehow this flattened back out for the most part. This is amazing, actually. Okay, so I wanted to show you. I started to say this. You're right, Diane. Thank you for your input. Okay, so if you didn't know this about the stitched nested dies, I need to show you. So I love stitching, and I'm not sure if you can see it on here, but there's stitching around the outside of this piece. Actually, they're little dots. It's not even like stitched marks, but I like that. But then also the piece that left behind has stitching around it too. So I always love a double stitched look because then like you could use this for something too. And no, that's not part of my project today. I should have thought of that, but it's not. Maybe I'll use it for next time. Okay, so I'm done with that one, and now I'm going to do something on here. So I always love a Z-fold card. So if you don't, some people do Z-folds different than I do, and I don't really call it a Z-fold when they do it that way. Where they just fold it in half and then fold it in half the other way and have a Z-fold. For my Z-fold, when I do it, this card is flattened is normal 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Oh, Dot, just stop it. I said I loved the dots. What are you talking about? So this is full-size card. And where I score it is at 3 1/4 and 6 inches. I like it offset a little bit. I don't know if you can see that it's offset, but it is. So I love a Z-fold card, and I wanted to do something different with this, and I'm not sure how well I'm going to be able to show you on camera, but I'm going to try. So what I want to do is kind of make a, what am I going to call it? A flap, an extra flap on the Z-fold. So I want to see what this looks like. Basically, I want it centered on here. Okay, so centered on my card front. So I'm going to hold on to it on here. So I'm lining it up so it's basically centered here. And what I want to do, because, let's see, I feel like I'm going in backwards. Just a sec. Okay, so I'm pulling my bottom cutting mat. I'm saying bottom just because of, I did come from the other way. That's why, probably why I have to do it this way. Just a sec. Let me think through it a sec. And I need to move this over so I don't have to think so hard. All right. So I moved my cutting mat over. I just had a light go out above me. So it is the beveled part of the cutting mat, because you know how the cutting mats are beveled. It doesn't work if you go past it. I can't just go at the edge. Where the beveling stops, I have it lined up with my score line on my farthest flap of my card, my Z-fold card. And I'm putting this on top of it. And I need it to be tucked in a little bit. because when I tried to go the other way and do the top one on, where it stopped here, it wouldn't go in here, it kept sliding. So now I need them to be not even. So I'm gonna do it, and then I'm gonna you'll see why I'm doing it this way if you haven't figured it out already. All right, just a sec. Okay, so where I had the cutting mat, oops, gotta get on camera. Where I had the cutting mat stopped is where my cutting stopped. So I can have this, man, this is not showing up well on, oh, I'm gonna put white underneath it. There we go. All right, so this is just so that you can see it. And you'll see it better when I have cardstock down. So the cutting stopped right at my crease here. So I have this little flap. All right, I just need to keep going. I don't think that you can tell it. And I might need some more, with that in mind, I might need some more cardstock down. I think I want a white inside because of that. Because it's not showing up the way that I want it. So just a second. So I'm going to double check how, I'm not going to try to do the math. Okay, so I have 5 inches by 4 1/4 is what my inside card base is. So I want just inside that. So 4 3/4 long by 4 wide. All right, I'm going to put this down and then you'll see what I'm trying to show you. All right, so this is just for my inside here. There we go. Now you can see it well. Okay, so so I have my flap that just flattens out with the rest of the card. So obviously you could do this with any shape of like die or whatever. It doesn't have to be dots, just for dot. Okay, so I have this, and pretty much the rest of my card is already designed, other than I'm adding designer paper. So I'm using the See a Silhouette designer paper again. I've been using it ever since we did the Double Wonder class a few weeks ago. I've been using it ever since, partly because it's going to retire, so I might as well use it rather than lose it, right? Okay, so I'm flipping it over to the other card. Thanks for sharing already, Penny, and you're welcome. Just like anything, it's a little bit late, that's all. All right, and so this one I'm actually putting just inside here, and I want a little bit of white border showing, and have the other design here. Okay, now for my hooray. I don't think that I want dimensionals on this time, just because to make it easier on myself, I did this full score line rather than trying to just do a partial one. So I kind of need it to help it stabilize this this score line. I want it to stay straight. So I'm not going to use dimensionals, and I am going to use lots of adhesive. Hi, Pedro. So we're going to put this here. I need to center it. All right, so I have my hooray. Ah, I love it. And then somewhere here. Okay, so the Let's Celebrate You is also from this this stamp set. Oops, sorry, off camera. There we go. So here is, I could probably add some embellishments, but I didn't think that far. So I might add some before I give it away. Ooh, maybe the red rhinestones would work, even though they're not Poppy Parade. This is Poppy Parade, by the way. Okay, so that's that. Remember, if you would like a chance at winning that card, you just have to share my video. Okay, so I'm doing another graduation card, and thank you. I'm glad you liked the card. And this time I'm using the Stamparatus again. I have a different one set up. So if you haven't figured this out and have your, even if you don't, if you're thinking about buying the Stamparatus or you have it already, something to keep in mind is that it comes with this cushion, this black cushion, that is intended just for when you are using photopolymer stamps. So I had one on the other Stamparatus that I was using, but I pulled it off of this one because this one is not photopolymer. So the idea is, I'll show you on this little stamp. The idea is, on the red rubber, there's cushion here already, but on photopolymer, there is no cushion because you need to be able to see through it. Thank you. I'm glad you guys all liked it. So I pulled this from this card, and ignore this over here. I was trying to be fast, and these are mini grid paper, or I don't think it's called mini, but anyway, it's small grid paper, I think, that's made just for the Stamparatus. So it's awesome if you need to stamp off or something like that. So I am doing the step down technique, or the step technique. I don't know what it's called. I just love it. This is one of the things that makes our Stamparatus so amazing compared to other similar tools. And before I start this, I'm going to show you. So this is stamp set is called Seriously the Best. It's actually a stamp set that's an add-on for one of the kits. Both the project kit and the stamp set are retiring. I love this. I love bold words. I love the sayings. It's just awesome. So now's the time to get it if you want it. So the stamp set is separate from the, I wonder if I have it over there. I do. I should show you that really quick. Okay, I'm going to go get my kit really quick so I can show you that too. Okay, so I've shown this kit on my live before, but in case you haven't thought about it or really wanted it, or maybe you missed that live or whatever, here you, for this type of kit, you need like to add ink pads. There's a couple ink pads you need. Here's one of the cards, by the way. Terracotta Tile and Pretty Peacock are the two ink pads that you use with this. You get all the little extra pieces for the project kit, but you need ink pads and the stamp set. So here's the stamp set, and here are, I think you make 3 cards, 4 designs that are part of this kit. And obviously, oops, I have one of these little rhinestone things. I wonder which one it came off of. May not even be from any one of these. Could be from a completely different one. I'm just going to put it on here. So obviously, after you make all these kits, or all these cards from the kit, you still have the stamp set left. And I've used the stamp set for several things. So, so these are it in case you are interested in this and haven't really thought about it and whatever, but it's available. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm trying to slide everything at me right now. Just a sec. All right, so what I'm doing is using the congrats, and hi Hi, Cindy. Did you get your card too? She was one of my winners a week or two ago. So I have my cardstock set up already. I need to make sure that my my magnet is far enough off. And this is Mossy Meadow. This is the color that I'm using. And I'm going to ink up my congrats here really well. And then I'm going to stamp it. And this plate is straight up and down. I tip it and I move it down a notch. And I'm going to stamp it. Tip it up and down. Stamp it. Stamp it. Look how awesome that is. I love that. Okay, so you wouldn't really be able to do this with probably black ink. I feel like you would need this certain, the colored ink and something dark enough that you could do this many times. 4, I wasn't sure 4 was going to work, but it did. So 3 might be a max, but I tried it because my cardstock was long enough. Okay, so now for this one, there's another stamp in here that says you did it. So exciting. And this one, I actually don't want the faded look. So I'm going to tip this one and ink it up again. This is typically what I would do with a step down card. Or can one of you tell me what's the right term for that? Nancy or Carrie? I forgot what the term for it is. One more. There. I'll put it back up into place. One more thing, just a reminder to you, when you're done stamping and you go to put something away, don't ever put your, you can't fold both. There's supposed to be another plate here. You can't fold both down. You'll break it. So don't do that. And I don't want to squish my stamp here, so I'm going to actually put it on this side. Have you guys noticed with the new cling stamps that if you leave it on the block, that's always my habit, because when I have clubs, I usually have a couple, 2 or 3 in a week, and so I just leave everything all set. But if you have something like kind of resting on it or whatever, it squishes it for a while. I don't know if the cushion is different with the cling. I don't know, but I have had problems with that. So then, like, the next time you go to stamp with it, like if my Y is pushed down, then it doesn't stamp well. So be careful. Don't just rest stuff on it. Just, you know, learn from my mistakes. Okay, so here's my finished congrats. All right, and I just remembered that I wanted to trim some off. So I left this longer because I wanted something for my magnets to hold on to. It's kind of annoying if you have to try to move them while you're trying to do it or whatever. So I just left this longer so that I had something to hang on to. I could have designed it differently, but this is how I designed it. So I'm putting my congrats on black matte. I was just thinking of something, just in case, because this is my thought with this. Okay, so this is the Clubhouse designer paper. I didn't use anything having to do with golf about this, but I love the plaids. And this is Pear Pizzazz. I was just thinking about this because of this card and my intent with this card. It does give an ombre look. I love that. Memory foam on the cling stamp. Maybe. I don't know. Thanks for sharing already, Diane. Okay, so I'm doing just inside this edge here, so there's still some Pear Pizzazz here. And then I didn't use dimensionals on this either. So this one is definitely very masculine looking. And just in case, if you need a graduation card and you need it for a guy, I'm not going to put bling on the other one either. Here it is. All right, so I'm done stamping. That is it. So I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to upside down you, put you backwards again. It's backwards so that you can read what I'm showing you. Okay, so I'll show you again so you can see it with better lighting. This looks really, really light right now. But it in person it's not bad. You still can totally see it, but you know how greens, they never seem to show up well on camera. I love the plaids too. Okay, and so here's the other one. Hooray. I feel like this might need a little something, but I'm gonna send it like this, and if you guys want to step it up a little bit or add some bling. Oops, that was a hard way to get this in here. There we go. Now I'm doing it right. Okay. There you go. Thanks. I'm glad you like my cards. Okay. So, what else do I have to tell you today? Well, one thing, I got to keep track of it. One thing I think I will... Oh, here it is. I'm going to save this. Okay, so remember I told you... Oh, I got kind of ink on it, though. I don't know that I'm going to do this part. I may still do something, even if I have to run it through again. I may do something with my... Remember I had the outside part of the die, of the stitched nested dies. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I love that. I have to take out my Stamparatus. Yes, you do. So I showed you some of the things that you can do. Cindy, I know you and I were going to get together, and then we never did. And then all this happened. If you have questions, though, while you're using it, ask me. Call me. Or you can always watch more videos on... There's all kinds of videos about the Stamparatus on YouTube, and even on my lives, I've done several of them. So, I can't think of anything else that I needed to share with you today. So I'll be live again on Friday, and I'll do my drawing on Friday. So make sure that you share. And I think that's it. So I will... I always do this. It's part of what takes me so long to respond to comments when I am done. I always go back and edit the video and add in like main things that I've used, dimensions, measurements, that kind of thing. So if you ever find, it takes me like an hour sometimes before I'm all done with that. But if you ever find a video that you've not seen before, or whether it's on YouTube, because I always post these on YouTube when I go live. Eventually it gets there like that same day. Either on YouTube or here for when I go live, you can click the description and click see more, and then you'll see all the measurements and maybe tips, and sometimes I'll say whose name I drew and whatever. Hi Judy, I thought of you when I used this Pear Pizzazz. I didn't even know that you were on, but I'm glad that you were, because I know you love that color. Okay, so I'm all done. Thank you for joining me. It's been a fun day with you, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you again on Friday. I could be a couple minutes late, but I'm not sure I'll have an excuse. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Bye.